Let's bring in the Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff of California. He served on the January 6th Select Committee. He's a candidate for the United States Senate. Congressman Schiff, good to see you. Thank you for being with us this evening. The news from Donald Trump today has been troubling, even by Donald Trump standards, where he warned of potential, I don't know whether you want to call it warning, threat, whatever. He said that if he gets indicted, there's a potential for death and destruction if he's charged. I never really know how to think about this, but it seems like even Donald Trump has up the ante.
I think that's unquestionably the case. It is just a marvel to me, incomprehensible really, that this man has any support of anyone to run for dog catcher in this country. Here he is after the experience of inciting violence against the Capitol on January 6th, once again doing his best to incite people to commit political violence. There's no question this is meant to be a threat to the Manhattan District Attorney. It's meant to be a call to his most fervent supporters that this is how he wants them to respond, because this is what he is predicting. And it is just so reckless and irresponsible. But it does illustrate the pattern with Trump, which is anytime he escapes accountability, he goes on to do worse and worse and worse. And what we're seeing now is even more extreme, a call to violence that we've seen from him before.
The interesting thing is, and he will say, I didn't threaten anything. I just warned you that there was going to be death and destruction. But this is how he operates, right? You don't actually have to do anything. You just have to suggest that Alvin Bragg is a tool of the state, or George Soros, or whatever he wants to say. You just have to suggest that the FBI is the deep state after the Mar-a-Lago search, and somebody opens fire on an FBI office. People can be influenced to do the work for you. Donald Trump doesn't have to lift a finger.
Well, that's exactly it. You know, in the past, one of Trump's favorite expressions was "people are saying." Was his way of sort of suggesting an idea, suggesting an attack without taking full ownership of it. Here he's doing something similar, which is, you know, death and destruction could result if you were to charge me, if you hold me accountable for things. And then if death and destruction do manifest itself, he can say, well, this is exactly what I warned about, but I wasn't calling for it. But there's no question what's going on here. And, you know, this is sadly where the leadership of the Republican Party is right now. As you were just covering, they're glorifying people who beat police officers on January 6th. Let's make no mistake about it. They are glorifying the assault on law enforcement as long as it's being done in the service of their dear leader, Donald Trump. And here they're defending him, even though he's threatening the district attorney in Manhattan, the people of Manhattan, with potential violence. You would wonder whether there's any floor to how low they are willing to go to support this man, no matter what he does. But apparently we have yet to find that floor.
But the legal jeopardy continues, whether it's here in Manhattan, where the grand jury continues its work and probably will into next week, and in the federal investigation in which the executive privilege that was extended or claimed by certain people, including Mark Meadows, has now been struck down. There are going to have to be more people who testify before that grand jury, which, again, it's different from the January 6th committee, because these people are going to have to go there under oath. And at some point, they've got the evidence. They know what the January 6th committee did. They've got other testimony. That is a game changer. The news tonight that Mark Meadows and others will need to testify is a big deal.
It's a huge deal. And this may be ultimately the most significant development in terms of Trump's liability of the last month. And it is exactly what you say. That is, witnesses are appearing before the grand jury in the Mar-a-Lago case already, who are likely testifying against Donald Trump, exposing potential criminality of Donald Trump, and others like Mark Meadows in the even more serious investigation involving January 6th are being required to testify. Their claims of executive privilege are failing. And when they came before the January 6th committee, well, some of them came before us and some refused, like Meadows. Some that came before us basically refused to answer questions about their conversations with Donald Trump. Those evasions, it now appears, will not succeed in the Justice Department investigation. And that is the most chilling, I would think, from Donald Trump's perspective, because these people like Mark Meadows and others around Donald Trump are in the best position to talk about Trump's state of mind, what he understood, the dangers, his unwillingness to lift a finger once the violence began. they could be among the most serious witnesses to date.
Congressman, good to see you as always. Thank you for joining us, Congressman Adam Schiff.